Greetings from Tokyo, my dear friends. This is Daisuke, and I very much hope that this video finds you well and in very good spirits wherever you are in the world. And today I'd like to talk to you about a film that is in keeping, I think, with the spirit of the current season, Halloween. Now we're in October 2020. So up to now, I have been trying to upload a video a day covering the season of Halloween with films or TV series that, for one reason or another, I feel are in keeping with this spirit of the season. Today, I'd like to focus in on a film from 1975. This is a film that is a musical, and it is a musical rock horror comedy, fun-filled entertainment, laugh out loud fun time. This is one of those that if you love it, you really love it. And so this is a film that is directed by Jim Sharman and produced by Lou Adler and Michael White, and it is starring Tim Curry and many other great performers from the show The Mind of Richard O'Brien. And to borrow a line from the film, I see you shiver with anticipation. The Rocky Horror Picture Show. This is a great time. One of those really one of a kind, lightning in a bottle type of entertainment experiences. And as I say, it's a film that probably isn't for everyone, and I don't expect this or any film in general anyway to be for everyone all the time. So that's perfectly fine. But for those who love the film, chances are you really love the film, and you know the songs by heart. You have a particular character or characters that are, for whatever reason, near and dear to you and are a fit to your own tastes and personalities. And I think that's wonderful about this film, right? This film is a musical that is about kind of self-discovery. It is also a throwback and an homage and also parody of the monster films and the gothic horror, haunted mansion, haunted house films, Frankenstein monster movies, the alien invasion movies, and the sci-fi campy classics that we all grew up loving and cherishing for whatever reason. So it takes all this and in stride, and also is camp, makes so much fun of itself, knows what it is, and has so much fun along the way. So as I say, for those who love it, chances are you really love it. As for me, I know this film, I think, from a very young age. It would be playing fairly frequently and on TV, and from there my love of the film grew. I think it grew because I was a big fan, and I still am, of the music. I think the music is just hypnotic, and it's one of a kind, and it's very clever. And I remember just listening to the album of the film, just listening to it over and over again, just getting those songs down and just having a wonderful time with it. I think that's something that is so important, especially when we're watching films now, is having a good time and letting go and feeling free. Don't dream it, be it. You know what I mean? And I think that can be applied to many different aspects, and even just on a very general, basic level. I think it can be applied to the process of watching a film. And just going with the flow. And I think this film, in its energy, in the way it presents its story, it's a romp, it's a campy, musical fun time. It can also have some really moving moments to it, and I think there are some incredibly emotional and powerful scenes that are obviously there for me and evident there, such that it every time I watch it, I go from the wonderful highs of the music and the comedy and some of the really outlandish, outrageous bits. And believe me, there are a lot of those there, and just done so lovingly and with such earnestness. And yet, that also doesn't hold back in terms of its emotional payoffs. And my goodness, there are some pretty emotional payoffs. So, and it's wonderful in that way. And I think it's anchored by Frank-N-Furter, Tim Curry's Frank-N-Furter, which is it's one of those characters for the ages, a cinematic icon, a musical icon, if ever there was one. And for a lot of people, Tim Curry is Frank-N-Furter. So, but of course, that's not all. We have a lot of great characters, Brad and Janet, of course, Riff Raff, Magenta, Columbia, Eddie, and Dr. Scott, and Rocky, of course, the criminologist, of course, and the whole crew. So, and they all form, and they all play their own respective roles, and they all form this kind of community, if you will, that is, I think, filled with a lot of quirkiness, a lot of campiness, a lot of individuality, and a lot of human drama, actually, as well. There's a lot there, and if you go with the flow and have a good time, I think you'll really have a wonderful time with this. And as I say, I think it also comes down to the songs and the cleverness of the songs. But anyone who knows this musical, you'll probably know it inside out and oh so thoroughly, much more than I. But as I say, I love the music. I listen to the music fairly regularly. Because I think the lyrics are very clever, the songs are very, very catchy, and to borrow some lines from the film. So anyone who likes this film, you must be awfully pride, and the like. So what I actually really, really love about this too is there is a real sense of freedom. There is a sense of the expression of freedom and the individual and the need of the individual to express himself or herself in whatever form that he or she feels best is an expression of his or her own individuality. And I think that is a very, very important thing to feel. And what's really clever about this film too, and I don't want to give too much away, but what's really clever about this film too is that it doesn't necessarily mean that the full expression of individuality will lead to a happily ever after type of situation. On the contrary, it also explores in its own unique, quirky, and very Rocky Horror type of way. It also explores the end results, the consequences of that kind of individual expression. And sometimes the consequences can be good, and other times the consequences can be not so good. And I love how the film is, I think, very clever and very bold in its choice to try to express a somewhat complex view of the universe, at least as painted in these wonderfully vivid and colorful brushstrokes that we have in this, as I say, wonderful, campy, homage, parody, entertainment romp that is such a classic. And of course, you know that it has a life of its own in terms of an example of interactive musical cinema theater. in terms of the history of the interactive nature of shows that the theater experience of this film, and it becomes a one-of-a-kind thing, and people go along with it, they laugh along with it, they laugh at the film, and they make fun of the film, they interact with the film, and they dance along and they sing along, and that's great. That is absolutely great, and it's okay to laugh at the film. I think the film is strong enough and resilient enough to take it, and I think it takes it very, very well. It does. It really has a strength about it, and it knows what it is, and so you can go along with it. You can make fun of some of the cheesy lines, and believe me, there are a lot of them, and they are great, and it makes my heart sing, in a manner of speaking. So just a wonderful time at the movies. And even though we have I have the Blu-ray here, and maybe watching it at home on my TV is not necessarily the same as watching it in a theater with a live audience. I totally get that, but still, even in the comfort of my own home, I'm watching along and I'm having, such a wonderful time. And so anyone who knows this film and loves this film, you will very likely be championing this film along the way. It does have that wonderful horror vibe to it, the sort of 1950s sci-fi horror vibe. Again, it's an homage, it's a parody, and it is in itself a whole lot of fun. This is the Rocky Horror Picture Show. Okay, my friends, so that's it for now, and so until we meet again, please be happy and healthy and well, and please keep on watching a lot of great, great movies. Thank you once again for your time, my dear, dear friends, and cheers.